Hello everyone. In this section, we will discuss about asynchronous JavaScript. So first of all, in this video, we will discuss about what is asynchronous JavaScript. So first of all, this JavaScript is synchronous JavaScript. Synchronous JavaScript. So how can we achieve asynchronous JavaScript? We have different ways like in this video we will discuss about set timeout, then set interval, then callback, promises. We will cover all them of topics, but our JavaScript is synchronous JavaScript as well as single threaded. Single threaded. So that means they execute line by line in a synchronous manner. So first of all, let us create one HTML file and we will see them. Index.html inside a synchronous JavaScript folder, and let us give title async JavaScript. And why need we asynchronous JavaScript, we will also discuss in this section. And let us first of all attach script file and give async intro 108.js and use defer keyword. So first of all, let us start our HTML file inside browser and side by side open our code editor. So here open our code editor and move to the asynchronous file, and let us open here console tab. So here is the console, and after that let us first of all console programming start, and after let us console programming end. So why need asynchronous programming? We will see that. Before that, here is print programming start and programming end, and let's say here we use for loop for let I is equal to 0 and I less than 10,000 and I plus plus, and we want to console JavaScript codes. Now you can see that programming start and then this for block is executed like JavaScript course. You can see that, and our JavaScript end should not be printed till this for loop is over. You can see that currently executing this for loop. So let us here change and do here 3000, and now you can see that programming start and then JavaScript codes. After this for loop executed completely, then programming end is printed. But till this block, our rest code should be not executed. You can see that. So for this block, we can say this is our blocked part area. How can we achieve in a synchronized manner? You can also see that programming start and then our programming end, or after this block loop, after this for loop, code won't be executed. If for loop is over, then and then after below code executed. So how can we achieve in synchronized manner that we can save our time? So here let us comment out this code, and we use set timeout method. Set timeout, and it gives functions. Before that, let us console here programming start, and after console programming end, and inside site set timeout, it will give two parameters. The first one is functions and another is time. So let us declare function, and here let's say add console inside timeout, and we want to give here time. So let's say give 1000. So if I give 1000, then 1000 millisecond, so it means 1 second. So now when I save, and you can see the changes, so you can see that the first programming start, and this part is set timeout. So for that, it prints programming end, and after 1 second it will execute it set timeout, like inside timeout you can see that. So when we use set timeout, so the rest code of won't be blocked, and they executed. You can see that programming start, programming end, and let's say console here 2 3 lines. You can see that it will not wait for set timeout block. So you can see that programming start and after that inside timeout is printed. And let's say use this for loop inside these functions, and now also you can see that. So here is the difference. When we do not use set timeout, then the rest code should be blocked, and after execution for loop, that will be printed. But when we use set timeout, we achieve asynchronous manner. That means our JavaScript code is not wait for these functions, it will executed in asynchronous manner. So what is the logic behind set timeout? Let us go to the our note, and we discussed in last sections. That means we have one GEC call stack. Here is the stack, here is the stack, and here is the GEC. You can see that now. Here is the stack. That means pop and push. Here pop and push, and here is web APIs for browsers. Web API for browser, and inside browser JavaScript has callback queue. It give callback queue, and also here is the event loop. Here is event loop. It called event loop. So let's say go to the our code, and let's say copy paste this code. So here is our code, and let's say here give our console. So what will printed? So the code execute line by line. So the first one is programming started. Programming started. And after here use we set timeout keyword. So this set timeout, it will store with the delay seconds. That means 1 second. So this will store into here set timeout, and with functions and our delay time, that means 1000 milliseconds and 1 seconds. And after part you can see that console log programming end. So console log programming end, it will print 3 times, second time and also third time programming end. And you can see that when this set timeout execution time is completely, that they will push into this callback queue. Here you can see that. So in this callback queue, when set timeout completed 1 second, then this set timeout with functions are present into callback queue. And what event loop is do? Event loop continuously checking if this inside JavaScript global execution context code is executing or not. If not executing, then this set timeout push into this tag. You can see that, and after that part should be executed. So for that, here is the set timeout. So for that, after that, this set timeout functions will be called. So you can see the output also JavaScript courses. So here is the how working set timeout and set interval. You can see that when it gives set timeout, then goes to the web APIs, and after 1 second the function should be present inside callback queue, and this event loop continuously checking if any code is present or not, and any execution is not happen inside this global execution context. So that means this callback queue, these functions are pushed into the stack and that code part be executed, and it will printed set timeout functions. So here how set timeout works. In upcoming videos we will discuss in deeply. If you have some doubts regarding set timeout, how set timeout works, then let me know. So in next video we will discuss about more on that. Hello everyone. In previous video we discussed about set timeout, and in this video we will discuss about set interval. And after this video you will know what is the difference between set timeout and set interval. So for that, let us first of all here attach here set timeout file script src and use set interval 109.js and use defer keyword. Before that, let us add first of all here button and click to stop, and after that start HTML file inside browser. So go live and side by side open our code editor. Here is our file set interval, and open the console. Inside console, let us first of all here try to print console set interval. We discussed syntax of set timeout, same for set interval, and it takes first function, let's say give function, and inside here not outside the bracket, inside, and let's say console set interval function calling, and after we need to pass another parameters millisecond. So let's say pass 1000. So it means 1 second. Now you can see inside console it prints set interval calling at the interval of 1 seconds. So set timeout calls only once, and set interval calling as a interval. So here set timeout calling only once or trigger only once, and set interval call infinite time at the interval. Let's say we use here 100 millisecond. Now you can see the it will calling and calling and calling. So here is for set interval, and let's say console math dot random and into 10. So now you can see that it will give random numbers at the interval of 100 milliseconds. Let's say add 1 second. So you can see that at every second it will generate new random numbers. So let us comment out this code, and we will working on one use case. So for that, let us const body is equal to document dot body, and after that let us fetch button. Const button is equal to document dot query selector, and here pass button tag. We have one button. Click to stop, and here first of all go to the interval id. Const interval id is equal to use set interval, and inside we pass the functions. Let's say const red is equal to math.floor, so that means it gives integer values, and pass math.random random functions and into 256, and also same for doing rg and b. So here add green and blue. After we merge, const rgb is equal to rgb, and inside pass red, then green value, and then blue value, and after set to the body style. Now you can understand that background and is equal to rgb, and let us give interval of 1 second, and after add event listener. We have button dot, you can see that it will change the style of background color at the interval of 1 second. Add event listener, inside pass click event, and pass the function. We also want to clear interval when click on the button, so for that here clear interval and pass the interval id. So set timeout, set interval stop, and after change the button dot text content body dot style dot background, and now save the file and go to the our page. Now you can see that when I click on stop, so it gives rgb values. You can see that background color. So let us here use 100. Now you can see that the color has been changed at the interval of 100 milliseconds, and when we use stop, then set interval is stopped, and these background colors value are stored inside this button. You can see that, and also you can add some styling and put it at the center. So here is the use case of set interval. In next video we will discuss about callback. Hello everyone. In this asynchronous programming section, we will discuss about what is callbacks in JavaScript and how we can achieve asynchronous way using callbacks. So first of all, let us add HTML file and callbacks, and inside give script file of src callback 110.js and use defer keyword. And after that, the first of all, what is callback? So the callback function is functions that pass as an argument to another functions and execute after completion of task or a later time. So first of all, callback function is passed as a as an arguments to another function and its execution after completion of particular task. We will discuss throughout example. And callbacks allow to create asynchronous code. So allow to asynchronize code. And also callback is used where scenario you need to execute code after certain task when event occur. So first of all, let us go to the code. Before that, let us start our HTML file inside browsers, and inside console let us side by side open our code editor. And we do not have currently HTML files need in this video. So for that, let us make function. Let us use fetch data and here pass callback as an argument, and inside introduce set timeout, and the first parameter is functions. So it fetch data, let's say name, JavaScript, and description is complete course 2024. And after that, inside callback we need to pass this data. So it execute the callback function with the data, and let us give here another parameter it called times. So simulate a delay of 2 seconds, so 2000 millisecond. And after that, let us create one another functions, display data, and inside pass data, and we need to console data received. So in upcoming videos we also fetch the data from URL, but in this video we will fetch data from the locally. So here use data, and after that let us call the callback functions. We need to call these functions fetch data, and inside we need to pass this display data. So here call the fetch data function with the display data callback, and after that let us save, and you can see that after 2 seconds of the delay it prints the data. So the fetch data functions is called. Inside callback we need to pass these functions so that that console the data, you can see that. And before that you can also let us console hello world, console hello.js codes. And now when I save the file, and you can see that here when we use callback, so it also achieves the asynchronous way. That means this block of code does not block of any below codes, you can see that. So it allow to use or allow to async code. So here is about callback, you can see that. So using callback functions we can also achieve asynchronous way, and also you can ensure that code is executed only when specific task is completed of an event occurring. You can see that it task completed after 2 milliseconds, 2 seconds. You can also use set interval. Now you can see the changes. At the interval of 2 seconds, it will fetch continuously data. So in next video we will discuss drawback of callback. So what is callback hell and callback pyramids, we will all of discuss in next video. Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about what is callback hell and pyramid of callback. So it also called pyramid of DOM. So callback hell and it also called pyramid of DOM. Before that, let us I also attach the callback file, callback hell, and start our HTML file first of all. And here let us create h1 text h1 into, let's say, 10. So here give heading 1, and after that let us give to the all h1 text, and after that we also give class name. What happened? Okay, heading and also 1. And now let us change the value 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. You can see that. And now let us give class name so we can access throughout the DOM using class. So heading 1, and let's say copy and paste it here. Heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5. In previous video we discussed how we achieve asynchronized way using callback function. So set timeout and set interval is also callback functions. Heading 8, heading 9 and heading 10. And after that let us first of all const heading 1 is equal to document dot query selector, and here pass heading 1, and let us copy paste here heading 2 and heading 2. So let us here use set timeout first of all, and inside this pass a functions and change the text content of heading 1 dot text content is equal to and 1. So let's say first of all open side by side our code editor, and we do not need now HTML file, and here let us give time of 2 seconds. Now you can see that after 2 seconds it will change text content to the 1, and let's suppose also 2 for heading 2. Set timeout inside functions heading 2 where text content is equal to 2 and 2. Now you can see that 1 and 2 are both changing at the after of 2 seconds. But what can I achieve? I want to achieve after change at 1, then after 2 seconds I want to change h2. So here you can see that now h1 and h2 are changed at the 2 second. But what can I want to achieve after h1 change? It take 2 seconds, and then and after heading 2 will be changed. So how can we achieve? So first of all let us comment out this code and set timeout, and here pass 2 seconds, and also heading 1 dot text content is equal to 1, and inside that we introduce another timeout, set timeout, and it is for heading 2. Here heading 2 the text content is equal to 2, and also give 2 seconds. Now you can see the changes. After 2 seconds it will change to the 1, and after 2 seconds it will change to the h2 text content. So here how can we achieve, and let us also const heading 3 is equal to document dot query selector, and here pass heading 3, and let us here pass 4, 5, 6, and change for 5 and 6. Now if you want to achieve for heading 3, so you can also introduce here another set timeout, and let us you want to achieve after 3 seconds, so 3 seconds, and also pass heading 3 dot text content is equal to 3. Now you can see the changes. After 2 seconds change to the h1, now heading 2, and after 3 seconds it will change heading 3. So here you can see that pattern, it looking like a pyramid of DOM. You can see that pyramid structure. So also let us first of all declare another functions, and we want to achieve using functions. So function change text, and after that here pass element text time on success callback and on failure callback. So inside here introduce set timeout, here pass time, and inside timeout element. So if check, first of all if element present, then element dot text content is equal to, let's say, pass text, and after check if on success callback, if on success callback pass the on success callback functions, and if any failure occurs then pass, and inside if on failure callback pass the on failure callback. Now you can see that it will add it to the function. So we do not add set timeout at the frequently, we use directly call these functions. So we do not repeat the code. For that let us first of all change text. Here first of all pass we need to element, it is element, so our heading 1, and then you need to pass text, so pass 1, and after it need to time, so let's say 2 seconds, and after it takes on callback functions. So here is the callback functions, and after that it takes on failure functions. So here is the failure functions, and inside callback functions if successful of heading 1, then we need to call recursive for heading 2, but if any failure occur then we need to console h1 is not present. You can see that, and after inside success we need to call another change tag functions, and here now pass heading 2, and after that we need to pass 2 number, and time we need to pass time, let's say 4 second, and same on success functions, and after that we need to pass on failure functions. So here pass console h2 is not present, and if success, then we need to call for heading 3. So for that, change text, here pass heading 3, and let's say text should be 3, and time let's say 1 second. And after we need to pass two functions. The first one is for value, and another is for the first one is for success and another is for failure. You can see that. And after that, let us here, let us here, if failure occur any, then we want to console h3 is not present. And if any success for heading 3, then we need to pass change tag functions for heading 4, and we need to pass change text content to the 4, and let's say give for 202 seconds. And here is for on success method and for on failure method. So here now, after that, for the fourth time we need to pass on success. Here we need to pass change text to the heading 5 called 5, and let's say we want to achieve this after 5 seconds. And inside that, this is for on success and this is for on failure, that we declare these functions on success callback, on failure callback. And if any error occur, if heading 4 is not found, then we want to print h1 is not present. And if h5, for h5, let's say here we need to call for change text for heading 6, it's repetitive task, and let's say for here 6, and let's say, and inside pass console h5 is not present, and inside we want to pass nothing for heading 6, because now you can see that it is structure like pyramid of dome. So you can see that it will hard to maintain this type of code, and it is not easily update, and it is not good for our readability and maintain this code. So here is the callback hell. So here is the one drawback of callback. So it will started execution. So for that, let us refresh, and you can see that after 2 seconds and after 4 seconds it changed to 2, then 1 second, then heading 4 for 2 seconds, heading 5 takes 5 seconds, and after 2 seconds you can see that if I give here for 5 seconds, then you can see the changes. And let's say give for 100 milliseconds, now you can see the changes. It takes 5 seconds, and after that it immediately changing because I give 100 milliseconds. So here is the concept of callback hell, like pyramid of dome. So it is not easy to understand, and as well as we cannot achieve here modularity and maintenance of the code. So here JavaScript introduced the new concept, it called promises. So in next video we will discuss about promises. Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about promises. So in previous video we discussed about callback hell, and what is the drawback of callback hell. So it is not maintainable code. So for that, JavaScript introduced another concept, so it called promises. So first of all, promises intro and 112.js, and let us also new another file, html file. So promises.html, inside that let us pass the promises. So in this video we will introduction about promises, what is resolve, reject and fulfill state. Before that, let us start this promises.html file and close the previous file, and also here add using script tag promises intro and then 112.js and use defer keyword. So currently we do not have work on HTML, so go to this promises. So the first of all, what is promises? So promises are objects that represent the eventual completion or failure of asynchronous operations. So first of all, intro to the promises. So it is an object that represent a eventually completion, here eventually completion or failure, anything, failure of an asynchronous JavaScript, async JavaScript, and they provide a cleaner syntax of handling asynchronous code. So it provides clean syntax for handling asynchronous code compared to traditional callback functions. And why use promises? So the promises are important because JavaScript, they allow you write a synchronized code more readable and maintainable way. So why need promises? So it's important because they allow to write asynchronous code as more readable and maintainable structure or way, and it is make easier to handle errors and chain asynchronous operation. So it is easy to handle errors. And what is the state of any promises? So promises has three state. The first one is pending state. Another way is fulfill state, and another state is rejected state. So what is pending state? The pending state is a initial state of promises. It represents state of promise before the asynchronous operation has completed. So it is initial state and also represent async operation has completed. It promise represent before async operation completed because it is initial phase, and another phase is fulfill state. So this state promise when asynchronous operation is successful. So when asynchronous operation is successful and it return value. We will discuss throughout the code so you can easily understand. And the last state is rejected state. So this state occurred when asynchronous operation fails and return an error. When async operation fail, then occur and this promise return an error. So in simple words, promise has three states. So let us understand via one example. So here promise example, and let's say console script start, and after that let's say create one array of the bucket list bucket, and let's say add here chips, then vegetables, then salt, and after that rice, and let's say give add one more coffee and give milk. So let's say create one promise const fried rice promise, and for create a promise we use new keyword and then promise. You can see that inside promise it has resolve and reject state. So pass the resolve state and reject state reject state, and inside that let's say if bucket list includes, we want to make a fried rice. So if this bucket dot includes, so why this gives error, because of here we need to pass arrow functions. So after that if bucket list has vegetables and bucket includes salt and bucket includes rice, because we need to rice for making a fried rice. So if three value is present, then this promise resolve and return the value fried rice, and also pass the message, let's say message promise resolve or fulfilled, promise fulfilled or resolved. And another scenario is if three items is not present inside bucket, then it gives rejected state. So here we need to pass reject state, let's say reject state, and here pass could not make it, and after that let us call this promise fried rice promise, and then we can use dot then method, and inside let's say give my fried rice, and after that let's say console, we need to pass any value, let it, and here pass my fried rice. So here we need to like this. So here is the then method, and also we want to get the errors. So for that if any error occurs, so we want to console error. Now let us go to the our file and side by side open our code inside console. Go to the console inside console. So now let us start, and it gives promise object, it value is fried rice, and it gives message promise resolved. You can see that, you can see that, let it, and then my fried, you can see that here is the fried promise, and then after, if my fried rice is making, then it gives an object within the value and message. You can see that message is promise resolve and value is fried rice. So if any are missing values, so it gives error. So let us here remove vegetables. Now you can see the could not make it, because here vegetable is not present, so it gives reject state. So here inside promises they console the error, and error occur. Now you can see that error could not make it. So if any value present, then this type of reject state happen. So here pass vegetables. So here is the basic video of promises. That promise has three state: pending state, now vegetables. So why this error message happen? Okay, and now, so it has three state: pending state, fulfill state, and reject state. So if all value contains inside bucket, then this promise should be resolved, and this value thrown to be here. You can see that, and if any value are missing, then this block go to the promise rejected, and it is go to the inside catch block. So in next video we will discuss about in callback hell we will doing this code using promises. After that you can understand how we can easily achieve using promises. Hello everyone, in this video we will convert this type of pyramid of DOM into promises. So for that let us create first of all callback to promises and then 113.js, and after inside promise.html we copy paste this h1 tags. So and after let us comment this line and add new script tag, and here as callback to promise promises and 113.js, and after use defer keyword. So let us go to the callback to the promises file. Inside here convert nested callback to flat code using promises. So for that let us first of all const heading 1 is equal to document dot query selector, and here pass dot heading 1, and let us copy paste here heading 2, heading 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, heading 8, and give 9 and 10, and after remove this and change the class name also 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And after that let us first of all create one functions that we created inside here. Let's say change text, and inside we introduce promises. So for that function change text, and it takes HTML element, then text and time. If you want to here add any style, let's say element dot style dot background color, so you can here add like any color, and you need to pass here color name. But here let's say add another color, so color, and after that it return new promises, new promise. And inside promise, in previous video we discussed about promise has two arguments, two parameters. The first one is resolve, and another is reject. You can naming convention as according to you, but it is the standard way of giving naming convention, resolve and reject. And inside, let us introduce set timeout, and here pass the function. Inside functions, let's say if element is present and present, then element dot text content is equal to text whichever we pass, and also change to the color style dot, let's say change to the color and pass here color. If you want to add background color, then style dot background. And after element is found, then resolve, and if you want to pass here message, then you can add that. Otherwise, inside else state reject, then element dot not found. If element is not present, then element not found. And after that, here we need to add time. So let's say now call this function change text, and inside heading 1, the first argument now text 1, and another is color. Let's say give color to the blue, and give, let's say 2 seconds. After heading 1, we want to do for heading 2, so use then, and inside we need to call change text, and inside pass heading 2 and then 2, let's say pass color yellow, and give 1 second. And after 1 second, let's say do for heading 3, so you can extend using then keyword and call the functions as you want to achieve. Let's say for heading 3 use 3, and after that give red color and give also 1 second. Let's say give for another h4 change text here for heading 4, and inside let's say give color red, and give second, let's say 4 second. So you can see that it is easily readable and maintainable code rather than using callbacks. Change text, let's say 5 for heading 5, and give orange color, and then here is give text content to the 5 and orange color, and for 3 seconds. And one more add, and here use change text, then call for heading 6, and also here add 6, add color should be add green color, and after 5 seconds. And at the last of promises, we need to handle the error, so for that catch, and inside error, and here alert error. So before that, let us start to the our promise HTML file, and let's say open side by side our code editor so you can understand that easily. So now first of all restart the our code, so you can see that after 2 seconds it will change to the 1, after 1 second 3, 4 second heading 4, 3 second for heading 5, and after it takes 5 seconds to change heading 6. And if any element is not present inside this, so it gives error. So let us first of all comment out for heading 5, and you can see that for heading 5 it gives alert message, and here we do not have heading 5 inside HTML5, that's why it gives error, and it is easy to handle errors. So let us do OK. And so first of all let us compare to the our previous callback hail queue code to the our promises code. So inside callback hail you can see that the pyramid type of structure, and it is not easy to feasible solution. And now when we use promises, then it is gives clean code architecture, and it is easy to update anything.